be on the side as a piracy section. It would be more like, here's his history, here's everything he's been doing on all of his Google products.
No, but the government can say, here's a site we don't like Mega Upload. How many of these people have downloaded something from it?
Right. But I mean, they would have to, I think they would have to do that on a person-by-person basis, right?
No, they wouldn't.
I think
the way it would all be saved in one consolidated format.
But Google's only going to
They will
say Mega Upload because
Okay.
it's not their product.
yes.
You don't realize that government has access to the ISPs. So
Yeah.
it goes straight to Comcast, as everyone who's been on the site, and Comcast has to give that to them.
Right.
So it doesn't even have to go through Google.
I mean, we come back to the point a lot where it's kind of like, is this thing already happening, or are they doing
No, it's
anything
all
more?
already happening. It's just making it easier. It's another step to make it easier.
All right. Well, okay. We're getting towards the end of. Does anyone?
Can I say something
Yes,
positive?
of course. Yes.
Do you all remember? I looked at the date, and it's 5 years ago. So you were very young at the time. Steve Lawson, billionaire, had his plane go down when he was out west,
Yeah.
and Google Earth provided maps for people to try and find his remains,
Yep.
or to try and find the plane at first when they thought maybe he was
Still alive, yeah.
And people sat and looked at, I looked at dozens of maps because it's like, images and went, does that look like here? No.
But the images aren't
I think
really
they
particular.
No, actually, you could make out airplanes.
Within,
Yeah,
well,
I was
I'm saying
within-
they don't. How often do they update?
Well, they are still.
Or did they do like
They
a special
can get an
update
image within 90
for-
minutes.
Yeah,
So the area that he was in, they updated that area.
yeah.
They don't update the whole Earth, but every
Digital
couple
Globe
years,
was
so-
founded. Let's see, when did he go down? He went down September 3rd, and they had the images by September 9th. They got the idea to start looking at
6 days.
Google on the egg.
So I mean, they went in, and that's. I mean, like you talk about all the bad things that government, or not government, but that could happen with this information. But there are lots and lots of good things that can also happen too. I'm not saying that this. I'm still kind of on the fence about it. I've just been playing devil's advocate this whole time.
Well, we could always say, if human beings were a trustworthy and honest group of people, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
We'd be in a garden somewhere.
Just to throw it out there, this policy is extremely similar to Facebook's policy.
Yeah.
So I know most of you are on Facebook. So if you're like, ooh, Google's bad, and you post it up on Facebook, just know the privacy policies are pretty much similar. So I mean, it's not just Google that's doing this, and this. I mean, Google might be one of the first few, but they're definitely not going to be the last to do this. I mean, I foresee eBay and Amazon doing this very shortly after Google. I know Amazon's already talked about it.
Yeah.
So
Consolidating their.
No, just the privacy.
changing their privacy policies to simpler, more broad. Same thing that Facebook did.
If you read this, it's very well. It has to be very general because of all the products they have. I wanted to just show like the. I went into this. I don't know if you have done this, but I went in and looked at just what.
Just each privacy policy?
No, well, I was just I want to go more and then even more.
Yeah,
So these are just all the products that Google has installed. And Google kind of has its fingers in every little thing on the internet. From social network stuff, like we have a whole social set to documents, to maps and geolocation, to things that I haven't even heard of, which means they're probably not that successful. But, I mean, there's latitude. I mean, just like they have Google, as far as the internet goes, if there's a thing online, Google has a version of it.
Typically, mostly from eating smaller companies that had a small thing going. They said,
Yeah.
"Oh, we like that idea. Let's make it our product."
Yeah, I mean, Republicans and Democrats do the same thing. I mean, it just happened. But why do you think the Green Party's never worked? I mean, it's true. Anyway, I mean, they have their fingers in everything. I mean, they have their own browser. You know, they just Android phones, everything. So, like, when they say they have all their information in one place, the thing to keep in mind is, like, they're a Google mascot in every sect of the internet as well.
You should take this.
Oh, yeah, that's a.
Yeah, that's what Dr. Allen's using for.
Are
Yeah.
you talking about that next week?
I have them on the calendar to talk about that next week. I'll have to.
They're quite cool, actually.
Yeah. And we might be helping with that. So, actually, that's a good point. Okay, closing remarks on this discussion. If anyone wants to throw 2 cents in there, you know, that kind of stuff, pros and cons, that kind of thing.
I think the biggest con is that Google is something you use to search for all these other sites that aren't as easy to monitor. Whereas you go somewhere like Facebook or something, that's one thing that you're using for one specific task. Whereas Google's more of your starting place, which is why it worries so many people.
Right. It's just a big part of most people's daily life. I think most people's homepages are Google. Except my grandma. She hates that her homepage is Google.
Why is my homepage Google?
She said she couldn't find out anything on the internet. Anyway.
Where's my email?
Anyway, but yeah, that's a good off topic. But anyone else want to throw anything on? Okay, so what were we going to talk? We're going to add them up here.
Android Global Development Day.
Do you have the site I was going to?
Yeah, it's like, give me 1 second. I just,
I'll Google it.
It's gonna go in your search history.
Ah.
Very good.
Is there
Is this it?
there, that's,
started at 7.
it's the dev cam.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want
That's
to.
it, that's it. Click that link.
Which link?
Dev Camp
Does that not
2012.
take you to the
It's
blog?
not a clickable thing.
Okay, just.
Okay. Maybe. We can actually post one. Okay. Oh, those are awful markers. Okay. Well, basically, this actually has most of the information on it.
I just had it. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
It is Android-dev-camp-2012 .blogspot.com.
Okay. So we've been talking a lot about creating an app for Android as a group, and Dr. White brought this up, and I kind of agree with it. This would be a great way to get that app started. Do you actually know more about it? Do you want to?
Well, I'm not going to be here is the problem.
Well, I mean, you can talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to do something with maps, even though maps look hard, but we have such expertise here. And a problem I had, while I was on sabbatical, is a shuttle launch was going off, and we all wanted to go out and look at it, so we went out, stood in a field, and started pointing. And we had no idea where Cape Canaveral was relative to us. You know, we after a while went sort of there, and it was actually sort of there, so we didn't see a lot. But the idea that we want to be able to say, hey, you know, we want to go to San Francisco, and San Francisco is
That
there.
way. That way.
So you get him and I pointing in different directions. Thank you. And so sort of a, you know, something that uses geolocation, where am I now, and maps, where is it there, and compass to help you point the way.
Actually, in front of that app, similar to that, locates where the, what's that, where the Muslim spray to?
Oh, yeah, Mecca.
Mecca.
So it points you to Mecca.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool.
And that's certainly another application for this. But then there's also, you know, my husband can say, I'm walking up from the south parking lot, and I could point, you know, click on the south parking lot and go, oh, you're coming in that direction.
There's also an app in the marketplace called something to locate your car.
Yeah, find my car.
Yeah, oh my god.
Set it where your car is, and then you come back, go to the app, and then come to your car.
And,
But if you don't have better ideas, this gets you started with all sorts of mapping.
we think it's a kind of good idea. It's very useful. It's not like a fart button app or anything like that. And that's why I call apps that you download for a second and you go, oh, that's kind of that. And you don't like it. But
Oh, I download the big lighter at least once a year.
What?
The lightsaber.
When you're in a concert where you all hold up your, people used to hold up matches and then lighters, and
Now
now
it's cell phones.
cell phones with lighters on them, yeah.
Because
People
that's
used to
cool.
hold up matches. They burn out so quickly.
And that's why they went to lighters. but
Lighters used to be,
anyway, but
Now we just go like this.
yes, but the reason I think it's a really good idea is that it's something that is useful. People would actually use, and which means useful, I guess. And it's I don't think it would be that difficult to make for people that haven't done Android development before. Because we have people that have done map stuff before, so they can help with that, and we could split it, divvy up the work. What we were thinking is starting off by just making a general compass that points north, and go from there, and then kind of like spread it out as we go. So the global dev camp, is it those 3 days basically you meet and you work on a Android development project, right? Is it just
yeah.
So what, the 17th and 19th, is that a weekend?
That's next weekend.
Next weekend, okay. And so are there actually times, or like will we be
No,
here?
it's just basically say we're doing this, and you can, if we had times, we could publicize it. People in the community might go, wow, MUGTUG, never heard of them, I'll go see what they're doing. So if we wanted to commit to being here.
Okay. I was thinking like a Saturday, just kind of, and it could be like we could have it a long period of time set aside where you can come kind of whenever, you know, where then, or we can do it a very small section of time where everyone's there. Or if you don't want to do that, that's also an option, and we can just stop talking about this now. So that's kind of, I think it's a great way to get the ball rolling on this app idea that we've had. What do you guys think about the Where's Waldo app? That's kind of what Dr. Ryan. I think we might not want to call it Where's Waldo. People are going to be sad if they're not playing Where's Waldo. Because I said Where's Waldo, and Sean's like, yes! I'm like, well, it's not Where's Waldo.
Oh no, Waldo is just to the east of Gainesville, DC. So we like being able to point to.
What do you guys think about an app like that? We think it's a good, simple app that's
Where exactly do you want to be pointing?
Well, what you could do is you could start with always point to Mercer.
Okay, and then they could set a.
And then your next iteration is point to any location someone picks on the map.
So you basically put a marker down, and then.
Or then we go
point
to the
it.
car thing. It's like point to this location here.
Maybe you could put one like in your hometown or something, so wherever you are, it's like I live that direction.
Yeah.
And that's what it's for, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and what we would do is start off with a compass that just points north or goes to Mercer or whatever. And just basically, like, you could just, like, we have it, you can just display the, like an arrow based on,
So this does you absolutely no good unless you have a smartphone, right?
Well, it's an Android app, so yeah. So, I don't have one either, though, so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I think
I'm
it's a
just
great
saying,
way.
yeah.
Isn't that weird? I'm leading a Google
Opportunity.
technology user group. I don't have a smartphone. So
You might have to
Google,
remedy that.
send me a smartphone.
Doesn't
That
Dr.
tiny
Allen
one.
have like 5?
He lets me rent them from time to time, yeah. Anyway,
For free.
well, I'm developing on them, so that makes sense. Anyway, we think it's a good app that people can work on, that the idea is pretty simple, everyone can understand what it's doing, gets people to understand how to use geolocation, Google Maps, a lot of things we talked about this semester, and it's a fun app that's actually pretty useful, we think, and for how much work that we think is going to go into it.
So after
What's
this gets
it-
installed, can people put on their phone, I went to find where Levi is right now, and it will
No,
show-
it's not a person.
Well, but that could be the version we do next year.
Oh,
There's-
latitude.
There's a snake game for all of you who have had assembly language.
I love
Uh,
I'm so good. I've been keeping butt on Snake on Facebook.
Yeah, there's sample, I'm just looking at some of the sample
Yeah.
programs.
Well, what we would do is we basically would release a Where's Waldo, where you basically select a point, and then wherever you are, it would point to that. I mean, like you don't have to be in that location. You just
But
bring
then we have
some.
that whole, I don't, because it doesn't know how your whole, I guess the accelerometer does.
Accelerometer does. It's pretty. It has directional, and then yeah, it's pretty good about.
It
that.
knows if I have a phone upside. That's going to be the check on my car in 20 years. Well,
Is this car upside down? If so.